Welcome to the second gym session for week 1, 2, and 3. In this session, we're going to be focusing on anti-rotational properties within your training. Also, we're focusing on unilateral training. So, very common, you're going to be approached with asymmetrical loads during your obstacle racing. If working with simply just a barbell being symmetrically loaded is great, and that's something we should train. However, as you know, when you pick up a sandbag or you got a suitcase, carry one thing, you've got overpressures coming from one side that your body needs to mitigate. The reason why I like unilateral training or asymmetrical training is that it challenges your body in unique ways. You essentially get more bang for your buck. It's more functional, if I had to put it in such a term. It's definitely sport specific to obstacle racing. So we're going to be focusing on rep ranges that sit within the hypertrophy realm. We do want to gain a little bit more strength, but we're just focusing on repeating these efforts and staying good with form. Now, you will start with all your gym sessions with some sort of aerobic-based work, where I like to focus on steady-state cardio, nasal breathing. Just like your session 1, 2, 3, and all the way through to the end of the 6-week program, we want to focus on nasal breathing, where you're getting your core temperature up, you're getting the body ready to focus on the task at hand, and we're building that aerobic base. So if you think that your gym session is not cardio focused, well, I like to make it cardio focused at the beginning. The cardio at the beginning is not going to take away any strength element in this particular program. It's essentially just going to build that aerobic base across the 6 weeks. So you may be putting 10 minutes on the bike, steady state cardio here, 20 minutes on the rowing machine here before you get started. And all of a sudden, you've put in a few hours each week extra of that aerobic capacity, which is going to transcend straight into your obstacle racing when you begin the race. So with component 1, we're focusing on deadlifts, single arm kettlebell swings, and dead bugs. And this, for me, is all focusing on very key components that's going to transcend in your obstacle racing. We're going to be doing 12 deadlifts at an 8 out of 10. So your exertion rate should go no more than 80%. So this should probably be maybe a 16 rep max lift. So I'm lifting 100 kilos 8 times. I could probably lift this up to 20 times. So I'm not maxing out the 12 repetitions. And as we progress through week 2 and 3, we're going to be reducing the reps from 12 to 9 to 6 in week 3. We still stay at 8 out of 10, which means you're just going to have to lift a little bit more each time. And that's how we're going to progress this particular component across the first phase of this training program. So I complete my 12 repetitions. I'm going to get myself close to the barbell, get myself in a strong base of support, really grounding my feet to the floor. I'm going to ensure that when I come down, I'm squatting down. I'm going to ensure that my outside or the inside of my elbows on the outside of my knees. Before I lift the weight, I want to brace through my entire body, pressing my feet through the ground, gripping my toes into the earth, loading up through the hamstring and glutes, and making sure that I'm squeezing my armpits in, my elbows, my triceps into my armpits, and switching on my lats, which is going to help prevent loading your lower back. You're keeping your shoulder blades back and protracted down as you pick up the weight. You're going to grip the bar as hard as you can, keep the neck neutral, lift all the way to the top, keep the bar close to your body, and bring it back down. You're going to repeat for your 12 reps. And then once you finish there, you're going to move on to the next exercise, which is a single arm kettlebell swings. Now, instead of the conventional 2-arm swing, we're going single arm, asymmetrically loading the body, forcing your body to make those compensations, which you will encounter during your racing. Set yourself up. Again, we're focusing on the hip hinge movement. I like to place the bell in front of me, so when I reach down for it, it already sets me in a hip hinge position. Put one hand out in front, internally rotate slightly, set myself up, my feet are planted in the floor, bring it to my groin, come up to the top. So I'm going for my 8 repetitions, keeping my lat braced in the back, hinging forward, squeezing my glutes to full hip extension, and then I'll switch for the last 8 reps. Just going to eye level, but not letting the bell pull me forward. I'm in control of the kettlebell. I don't want to be flexing through the spine. I don't want the kettlebell to pull down towards my knees. Imagine if you had a kettlebell sitting beneath you, and you still should be able to swing, even with a kettlebell beneath you. If you're someone, especially if you've got long limbs, you're gonna smack that kettlebell with the kettlebell, you're flexing too much, you're unlocking at the lat, and you're gonna be putting too much load in your lower back. So they're just some simple cues. 12 repetitions, 8 and 8 kettlebell swings, and then we're gonna move on to our renegade rows. So we're gonna be focusing on, we're gonna be doing 20 dead bugs. So grab the floor anywhere you wanna sit. Again, we're working through our anterior sling here, working those deeper core muscles, get in a dead bug position, ensure that your lower back is pressed against the floor at all times. I'm flexing my toes towards my shins. I'm going to kick my left leg out, okay, as I drive my right knee towards my chest, and at the same time, I'm going to rotate my thumb towards the ground. So this is the end position, my lower back is still against the floor, and then I'm going to switch positions. Going back and forth for 20 repetitions. Ensure you're getting that knee drive, ensure you're keeping your foot flexed, and you're rotating your thumb towards the floor. Now if you're someone where you lose that, you compromise the integrity in your trunk there, your spine comes off the ground, then you don't actually have to go all the way out. You can sort of keep it up high. You can keep your hands in front of you. However, I really want to challenge you to look at that cross-section mid-training, okay? So 20 repetitions in total. If you need the rest, have the rest. Go back at that particular component for 4 rounds. So with component 2, we're definitely getting into that anti-rotational asymmetrical loading in these 3 exercises with both the dumbbells and the barbell. Now what we're going to be focusing on is upper and lower body, and this is something I think is vital and should be implemented in everyone's programming because again, life is more asymmetrical than symmetrical loaded. So with the renegade rows, I want you to focus on utilizing a weight that's not going to tilt your pelvis side to side, something that you're confident in. We're not going to be putting the push-up into this, purely just the rowing. So ensure you've got your shoulder stacked above your wrist so you have that joint support. I don't want to see a harbour bridge effect. I need you to keep those glutes squeezed. Now, the wider you have your feet, the wider the base of support is going to be for you. So I encourage you to start with a wider stance at the feet. I'm going to be coming a little bit more forward. I'm going to squeeze through my glutes and lift the dumbbell towards the bottom of my rib, not up towards my chest. Okay, we really want to ensure that we're pulling the shoulder blades back and down. So when we're rowing, it stays in this position. Okay, we're not going to be hiking at the trap here, and we're not going to be shifting side to side. So as you can realize, when I'm going through the movement, when I lift, gravity wants to send me down towards the floor. This is where your body has to internally struggle and compensate to keep you upright. And this is the stresses that we want. So we're going for a total of 6 reps on each side, keeping everything braced and stable. Don't want to see this. So if you need to, drop the weight to ensure you have good form. Now, we're going to be moving on another exercise that encapsulates a bit of rotation through the hips. Okay, and as well, you anti-rotation and rotational forces through the midsection. So it's a landmine barbell rotation. You're going to start out in front of you, like so. Position your feet accordingly, and you're going to come across. As I drop to the left-hand side, I have rotated internally from the hip all the way down to my foot. I'm going to squeeze my glute, bring it in front of me, come to the opposite side. Now I want to get all the drive from my midsection and my glutes. I don't want to be just muscling it with my upper body. So you're going for a total of 12 repetitions. When you finish, place it down. You're going to move on to the third exercise, which will include the dumbbells. Now we're looking for a little bit more stability here, a little bit more coordination. There's definitely ways to regress this, and feel free to go lighter in weight. The way this is going to work will be a single leg Romanian deadlift with a double dumbbell row, okay? So it's a little bit of a tongue twister. I'm going to come a little bit side on. So I'm balancing on my left leg, already testing proprioception, my balance. Everything that you're doing in obstacle racing, usually one limb at a time. So we need to make sure that we have that strength in the ankle, knee, and hip. Now, as I come into a straight-legged deadlift, I'm pushing the hips back, I'm staying braced through the midsection, I'm pulling through my lats, I'm not letting it flex my spine. So I'm holding the integrity in the braced position, pushing my right leg out, coming as low as I can, loading up the hamstring, staying balanced, and then I'm going to row to the bottom of my ribs, pull myself back to the top. Okay, and you can switch side to side. We're going for, again, a total of 12 reps. I don't want you to rush it. I want you to take your time on both the eccentric and concentric phase. Now, if you need to regress this, you can essentially reduce it to one dumbbell in the hand, or you can just have a split stance. So you don't actually have to lift your leg off the ground. So split stance, keep the weights by the front of your front leg, so by the side of your front leg, sorry. Have that slight bend the knee to replicate the straight-legged deadlift. Come down. I've still got a bit of balance here, but I'm still driving through the front leg. Just giving myself a little bit more balance and ensuring that I'm driving through the front leg to get that single leg adaptation. Now, in total, repeat those exercises for 4 rounds.